Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of the Furious Fourcast. With the release of Titanfall this week, we've decided to take a step back to have one of our special topic podcasts, and we even have a special guest this week with Mr. Robert Workman being at GDC. Lucky dog. We're stuck here all by ourselves. We're going to have fun without him. So this evening we are discussing about in defense of the Dudebro gamer. So first off, our discussion will involve what is Dudebro gaming. But before I forget, I am doing a horrible job this evening of hosting. I am awful. I apologize. I've got distractions going on. I'm your host, Jen. I'm horribly distracted this evening. I am joined this evening by Scott.
Dude! Totally!
Podcast. Mr. Max Parker.
Hello.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
Dude.
Righteous.
And my fellow lady bro gamer, the lovely Miss Keri Honea.
Dude.
Dude.
I feel like all night we're going to be doing our Keanu Reeves impressions here.
That's going to tap into my inner Ninja Turtle.
Tubular. Just like start channeling our 90s surfers. I'm okay with that. So, yeah, first off, for the purpose of this podcast, what is Dudebro gaming? I think that's a term that gets thrown around a lot in the industry, typically in a dismissive fashion. So, what is Dudebro gaming?
Scott, do you still have that definition up?
I do.
The
official Urban Dictionary definition of Dudebro gaming, as I do my deep announcer voice, is a video game, usually a shooter or sports game, whose target audience is the 18 to 35 male gamer, or the so-called Dudebro audience. Dudebro games usually feature prominent violence, swearing, or sex, overly serious tones, and a pretense of epic storylines, and are usually rated M for mature. Example? No, I'm not getting the latest COD. I'm sick of Dudebro games.
That's amazing. So, it doesn't have to have a male protagonist.
But can we think of any examples of games that we consider to be Dudebro that had a female protagonist?
So, not like Extreme Beach Volleyball, DOA.
Heavenly Sword?
That's what I was going to say, Heavenly Sword, because Nariko is basically Kratos with a D cup.
Yeah.
Sure.
Kratos in a bikini.
So then God of War would also be Dudebro. If Heavenly Sword is, God of War would have.
You know, I kind of think God of War has progressed to that point, because you have to think that the first God of War game was a little sad and there was a good story there, right? Like, oh, he's out for revenge, how tragic. But then the second game was like, he's being an asshole and the gods strike him down for being an asshole, and you're like, dude, you're kind of being an asshole, dude. But then he just goes on this rampage of revenge for being an asshole? What?
I don't know.
They just kind of ramp up the sex and violence the deeper they got into this area.
Oh my god.
I don't know. It was always there. You could always sleep with the girls in like those.
I'm just saying.
I love how he smiles and blushes as he's saying that.
I didn't do it, but I read somewhere that you could, and you get orbs.
Because that happens all the time.
So it has to have like it has to have a story. So, but DOA Extreme Beach Volleyball is just made for men, right? So, like, wouldn't that apply?
I think that flies more into eye candy, because really beach volleyball's sole purpose were hot chicks.
Right.
Like, that's its sole purpose. There's no...
DOA volleyball was really kind of like for the guys that go out and buy the anime pillows to sleep with. That's what that was for.
What are those? Those have a name, don't they? What are those called?
Love pillows, aren't there?
I have no idea.
Oh, you know, Scott.
Scott's got like 5.
I have a wife. It won't fit in bed with her, so I didn't buy it.
That would be an awkward conversation, huh?
Mm-hmm.
No, one of my boss at Game Revolution was out to try to find me a Garrus body pillow. And he was determined to find one, and he goes like, okay, don't do a Garrus body pillow image search on Google.
Speaking of games that aren't Dudebro, I think Mass Effect safely falls off of that. But
sure.
I think
I don't know about that, because it does have that pretentious, overly serious tone.
I would give you that for Mass Effect 2.
See, video games in general has this problem of being overly serious, like every story. every story is super
But
melodramatic.
I think when it's what they're talking about when they say that with Dude Bro games, like at least this is how I think of it. Like, and keep in mind, I love Gears of War. Please keep that in mind before I say what I'm about to say. Gears of War is so serious. Like everybody's in gruff voices and everything's super serious. But the story, it's not that original. Like it's these guys, we're fighting against these guys, we're involved in this battle and we need to beat them. That's pretty much the story, right? But it's so serious.
I think Gears of War.
I love it.
Gears of War is the epitome of the Dude Bro genre, right? It fit everything.
The
It had
The
epitome? Epitome?
Epitome?
the pinnacle.
It's the pinnacle of it, yes.
It's the pickle. It's the pickle of the Dude Bro game.
Gears of War 3 is the thesis statement for Dude Bro games.
I mean, it's got the seriousness. It's got the total, want to do the fist bump.
The big macho guy.
Big macho guy,
actually
giant
why-
boots, army, big guns.
Because of how it looks is why people won't play it. So like, it's just nothing but a bunch of roided out men shooting. I'm like, no, that means you never
No,
played a game.
Exactly.
But
I think in another...
they just look at it. That's all that they see. It's the same thing with Call of Duty. They just look on the outside, and that's all that they see. So therefore, they assume that means it's Dude Bro, and therefore they hate it.
Well, that's
and
the kind of way I mentioned
I
Halo.
totally used epitome right. I totally used it right.
No, I didn't say you didn't use it right. You just mispronounced it.
That's not the
You just
pronunciation.
mispronounced its epitome. You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Epitome. Epitome. Epitome?
No.
Epitome.
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 Isotoner. What?
This podcast is off to a wonderful start. We're already Dude-broing the lexicon. I love it.
Epitome.
Getting back to off of our vocabulary words. Let's stick to 5-cent words, Scott.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He's from Alabama,
This is a Dude Bro podcast, so I should speak some honest Spanish words.
Nice save. So, anyways, I think one of the games that we mentioned is, and this is one of my favorite games that always comes up on this, is Bulletstorm. Is one that didn't do well. It was beefy men making crude jokes and how creatively can you kill people, and it made some offensive remarks, one of which Scott delivers with the utmost perfectness.
Is that my cue?
Is that a cue?
That's your cue.
I can't even remember it now. What was it? It's been so long.
Lord. I remember.
I didn't rehearse.
We have a podcast where we're talking about, it was the year that Bulletstorm came out for Best Villain, and he nominated, we were talking about why Serrano is such a great villain, and all of a sudden he just burst out, he's like, I got 2 words for you guys, sushi dick. It was like, oh my god.
That's right.
But
It's
isn't
been
that
so long since we had that podcast.
if it's intentional, doesn't that kind of exempt the game from Dude Bro status?
Not,
If it's self-aware, because Bulletstorm's very self-aware.
Oh, yeah.
but I
So-
think it's self-aware of the fact that it's embracing it, like, we're dude bro, bring it.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of the Army of Two thing, though? Because, I mean, they totally embrace the Dude Bro-ness there.
I don't think the first one is made with a hint of irony. I think that's
But they
all-
totally...
first one, it has a fist bump mechanic.
I mean, they're like... Yeah, they have a whole fist bump thing.
You press X to fist bump.
Are you telling me that Army over my
They
head?
got the blinging out the weapon. I mean, it's just...
I don't think it's meant to be ironic. I think it's actually a celebration of the dude bro. Like, hey, this is our target audience. And there's nothing wrong with understanding your target audience, right?
Metal Gear. It's Metal Gear, Dude Bro.
No, they're not dude. That's not dude bro. That's pretentious garbage.
But that's part of
Oh, damn.
that's part of the.
Sorry.
Whoa, shots fired. No, but that's I mean, that's overly dramatic storytelling.
Yeah, but that's just pretentiously over dramatic. Like, holy shit. Okay.
Did you play Guns of the Patriots? That's a great game.
That's oh my god. Anyways, when you charge $20 to $30 for an hour and a half demo, you are not dude bro. Okay, that is not dude bro.
No, I think that's called Gone Home.
Shit.
Oh.
It's true, because yeah. So no, I think dude bro So we talked about this earlier, Bax. You actually had a question of, was it Double Dragon or Street Fighter you brought up?
Double Dragon, yeah.
Are fighter games, dude, bro?
Well, when you talk about the fist bump from Army of Two, Double Dragon Neon actually had a high five.
Ooh. That's a
Are we talking about brawlers or fighting games?
Yeah, both really. You could conceivably.
I don't think they're in one class. I think
because I mean we were talking about God of War earlier, and that's technically a brawler.
Yeah, technically.
Wasn't Double Dragon technically a brawler?
Double Dragon is a brawler.
Yeah.
But then you have games like Street Fighter.
Brawler.
Which, God, if that's not the 18 to 35-year-old male demographic, I don't know what is.
I don't know. There is a story, but it's not really important to the Street Fighter game.
No.
So, I don't know. I wouldn't call it dude, bro.
So
I wouldn't either.
Every game kind of appeals to that demographic,
That's primary gaming demographic.
Yeah,
so
sure.
that seems a little. But I mean, so let's back up. We've already established that shooters tend to be dude bro, right? Call of Duty, Battlefield, Medal of Honor, Gears, Bulletstorm. I know I'm forgetting one.
Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive, sure. Maybe not beach volleyball, but Dead or Alive.
It's no shooter. You're derailing my point.
Sorry, go on.
I think the epitome of the genre has become shooters.
Oh, look! Look what I did to Jen.
I think, but how did that happen? I guess I'm not sure how that happened.
I think it happened because of Call of Duty.
Because maybe the market's a little saturated with them now, maybe?
I actually think how it happened with Call of Duty was that it became the game that the frat guys would play.
Yeah.
They'd all hang out in their dorm room or their frat house and play this game. And Call of Duty is also the one where you get the offensive chatter over the headset.
Yes.
So I think that's really a lot where the whole dude bro idea came from.
Your mom.
So a game can become dude bro because of the audience and not even what it was created to be. So that's what we're going.
If we're defining it as a serious storyline and appeal to 18 to 35-year-old male, then Call of Duty is I will say this correctly this time, the epitome of a dude bro game because it was the one that came around and it just attracted a massive audience from young males who had extra cash.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Activision was smart to realize they had a hit, and they marketed it towards them, right? It's no different than marketing Hunger Games to young teenage girls, because they know that's the market. They're the ones that enjoy that stuff.
Sure.
Which is why, and I think I rustled some jimmies earlier when I mentioned that I think Halo tends to fall under that because of its marketing, right? It's on the cans of Mountain Dew and Doritos, and it's an Xbox exclusive, and somewhere along the lines, Xbox definitely got saddled with as the land of the dude bros, right?
Well, and again, that was partly because of the holy trinity of Halo, Gears of War, and Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
That was the shooter console.
You heard it here first, gentlemen. That is the holy trinity of gaming, dude bro gaming.
Holy trinity of gaming.
At least we've got that defined. So now that we kind of have a working definition of what dude bro games are, I think lately there's been a bit of a backlash against it, right? Again, as I said earlier, it tends to be dismissive. If somebody, I'm going to point to it, I'm not necessarily defending this game because as much as I want to play it, I've already admitted it's going to be bad. The new Wolfenstein coming out. Last year at E3, I remember being on the floor and hearing people being like, "Ugh, it's just some dude bro," or "It's just such a dude bro game." We needed that kind of dude bro game back, right? It's a dismissive term, right? Can we agree on that?
Sure.
Yeah.
At this point, it is, yeah.
Yeah, and dude bro kind of represents the huge, biggest games in the industry, and it's kind of appealing to go against that grain for a lot of gaming enthusiasts. They don't want to be grouped in with that big group. So there'll be it makes sense to be against that. There's this backlash against Dudebro gaming.
But does it make sense? Does it make sense to be against it?
Well, I mean, it's like anything else, though. As soon as something becomes big and popular, all of a sudden everybody hates it.
Right. Sure. Sure.
And I mean, once it hits that mass market appeal, it's like, oh, they were a real great artist, and then they totally sold out.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. The hipster effect.
Yeah. It's the same thing. I mean, yeah, Apple. Apple was the coolest thing ever with the iPhone and the iPad, and then once they reached a certain level, you've got Samsung with theirs like, oh, you're making fun of the fact that you got mom and dad standing in line at the Apple store, getting an iPhone, waiting for the latest iPhone along with all the other hipster kids. Like, oh, all of a sudden it's not so hip anymore, is it? Because it has a mass market appeal.
What was I told at PAX East? I was told that I had the soccer mom of phones because I had an iPhone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's interesting though, because we're talking about I guess that is a big part of Dudebro, right? But almost in the opposite, because like they're trying to talk about what's cool, right? And that was part of their ad campaign was your mom uses an iPhone, right? Whereas Dudebro games are actually, as we said, typically targeting that younger demographic. That's who they're going in for. As much as I enjoy the Army of Two franchise, I would never. I'm past their demographic by at least 6 years. So,
Also the wrong gender.
That too. That doesn't help. But I'm way too old for their demographic, right? But I think that's kind of what we're now seeing is the opposite of that, where it's like, oh, Dudebro games, God, that's for kids.
I don't know about for kids as much as it's for immature audience. Like, it's like, oh, you like pro games? You don't like mature games. You don't like artsy games. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You're going to sit back in your Starbucks with your Apple, and sip your coffee? I mean, is it okay we all like different things? But I think that's what it's kind of come down to is that they just immediately associate that I like Gears of War, therefore I don't like deep games.
Mm-hmm.
There has kind of become that stigma. So I think the whole purpose is, especially, and this is something Keri and I have talked about a lot, is defending Dudebro games and the fact that now it's kind of become necessary to defend Dudebro games, saying that, oh, I like this game, people instantly, you're like, no, let me explain why I like this game, right? Like Halo or Gears of War, the two big franchises that I think of the top of my head. Call of Duty.
Or Resident Evil.
Oh, God. Shots fired. Shots fired.
I'm going to let it go. Resident Evil is not actually, you could actually make a really solid case that Resident Evil 6 was totally Dudebro. You could really make a solid case. We're not going to go there. Too soon. Much too soon.
Prey 2.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Dynasty.
This podcast is over. I'm going to flip my computer off the table.
Dynasty Warriors.
Seriously? I like a lot of Dudebro stuff, okay? Go f*** yourself. After I promised Max I was going to try and watch my profanity. There we go. I will actually put a disclaimer saying that he forced me into that. Dynasty Warriors isn't Dudebro. That's a whole other genre of bad. So.
I think the Japanese for is kusoge.
See? Oh. Anyways, I feel like it's the reason that I started to, not only with Titanfall, but I was talking at work, and I was talking with a guy who he plays shooters, and he had mentioned playing Call of Duty Ghosts, and he has something like 30 or 40 hours in the multiplayer, right? And he said it like so apologetically, right? He was like, oh, I played Call of Duty Ghosts, and I actually really liked it, and I liked the multiplayer, and I had fun with it, and I'm like, why are you apologizing for this? Like,
because you wanna act like you're above that kind of mainstream. And I mean, we've already established that this is code for garbage. Really, isn't that kind of what we're saying here?
I don't think that's kind of what we're saying. I think we're saying that is what I think that's what we're saying that term typically gets thrown around as, right?
Yeah. So I understand why he would be apologetic for playing Ghosts.
I mean, it's like Max having to apologize for watching RoboCop 3 and liking it.
Sure, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that's what it is.
Actually, it was Terminator 3 that he liked, and that does deserve an apology.
It's both.
It was both. Yeah.
You shouldn't have to apologize for anything that you like.
Except for if it's Terminator 3, and you're on this podcast.
That's true. This does kind of get into like nerd shaming territory.
It does. It is.
It does, and I think that's why we started talking about this. That's how Keri and I at least came to this conversation, because there has kind of become this nerd shaming, like, oh, you like Gears of War? Oh.
I don't even think it's
You're
nerd
one
shaming.
of those people.
I really don't even think that's nerd shaming, because they're trying to say I'm not a nerd because I like Gears of War. Because I'm on the outside. I'm like part of the bullies. I'm on that side.
Like, oh, you're not a real gamer then.
Yeah, you can't be nerd shamed if you're in the majority. Like, you know, it doesn't,
right,
it doesn't work.
that's a big part of it too.
Oh, you like Gears of War? You're not allowed in our country club.
Right, yeah, it's
You're
not like right.
Good day, sir.
It's not like Call of Duty bronies or something like that. It's apples and oranges. We're talking about two different things.
They call it bronies.
Call of bronies.
I mean, I actually got into an argument with someone who I thought was a good friend, who, because I don't remember what was announced. Oh, it was because Epic Games came out and said that they do want to do more of the Gears of War. As much as I love Gears of War, I was like, come on, guys, the story's over. Let's kind of move on. And it's talking to his friend, he's like, but you like the Gears of War stuff. I was like, yeah, I read the books, I'm into the comics, I love all of it. He goes, and you didn't like Gone Home. I'm like, so? And he goes, are you really a gamer? I'm like, really? Just because like I like Gears of War and I don't like the artistic game of the year? I don't understand why I have to be one or the other. And that's why I feel like what it's kind of become. We're in different camps. You're in this camp or you're in this camp.
Yeah.
Well, I think Scott kind of hit the nail on the head with the country club remark. Like, it's kind of becoming that, and maybe this is just because my daughter has been obsessed with the Goonies lately. Like, I'm starting to feel like the Dudebro gamers are the Goonies of whatever group you're talking about. Like, I like popular games. Like,
they're buying up our real estate and forcing us out.
Yes, exactly.
That'll be the next underdog movie. You know, it'll be like Animal House, but instead of it being the frat, the John Belushi frat, it'll be a bunch of Dudebro gamers. They'll be the
right. And I think, I don't know. I think there's a lot of it. There's a lot of enjoyment that you can get right out of the Dudebro games. Like, and I think that's probably why they remain popular,
but
right?
You know what? I also think the Dudebro games gets a bad rap because of the behavior of the stereotypical Dudebro gamer. It's the guy that goes and swears, taunts, just does all sorts of things.
You mean the guy? You mean the 10-year-old?
Yeah, not just
exactly.
the 10-year-old, but I mean, like you have your esport competitions where you've got the dude that just stands up and starts taunting the crap out of his opponent in the middle of a match, and this is supposed to be a professional, they're calling it professional event. I know it's not really professional.
That's part of the game. That's part of it. That's part of the...
Right, but I'm just saying it's that behavior, that perception that this is a bunch of just, overly aggressive, young, hyper, not steroids, but hyper adrenaline males that hyped up on a game, and they're just totally going on. Yeah, hyped up on their 5-hour energy.
Hey, Scott, was that Titanfall on that 5-hour energy?
Why, yes, Jen. This was Titanfall. Provided by
looks like
5-hour energy from Living Essentials.
Sure looks like a delicious energy shot.
I have yet to drink one of these today.
Max, are you inferring that you like 5-hour energy?
I am. I love 5-hour energy.
Oh my lord.
And 5-hour energy has done nothing for my dexterity.
Now, to be honest, I'm a Red Bull guy.
Is that because you could drink it with vodka and you cannot drink a 5-hour energy shot with vodka?
This is true.
Well, you probably could. You probably shouldn't.
So, now that we've got that out of our systems. Yeah, I think that, and that's kind of unfair, right? Because I think, and this is something I know Keri will particularly get passionate about, like let's look at Gears, for example, or even Halo, right? People like to write it off as manly men shooting stuff.
Mhm.
And I think it kind of goes beyond that, right? Especially like in Gears. The story's not particularly deep, but there's some really good moments in it, and there's some really good characters in it, and you can still form that emotional attachment to them that you would say an artsy game.
I mean, even then, I mean that's so typical of the gaming industry as a whole. It's rare that we get a really fantastic story, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you get your oh God, I'm drawing a blank. What was the shooter in Dubai?
Spec Ops.
Spec Ops: The
When
Line.
when you get something like Spec Ops: The Line, that's really rare.
True.
And it should be celebrated when it happens, because writing in games is so difficult, because it's not a movie, it's not a book. You have a player doing something, and that makes guiding a story really difficult to make it unique and compelling.
So
And they attempted it with Gears of War. They didn't succeed, but they at least attempted it.
Oh, they didn't attempt it with the first one.
No.
It was
No,
the
the
second
first
one.
one's
They were like,
pretty
oh, maybe
much-
we should have a little bit of a story.
Yeah,
And what's kind of funny is that
2 and 3 they tried.
if you read the books, particularly the last book, the Slab, which is about when Marcus is in prison, that last chapter is actually verbatim of the first part of the game, and it means so much more now. It's like, wow, there actually was like a point to that, and then everything else in the game. Like, I played that part of the game and I got chills seeing that from the book again, and then I got to the first fight scene, I'm like, yeah, I'm done. That was fun. Story moment's over.
I think Spec Ops is a really good example, because I would not call Spec Ops a Dudebro game because of how deep and heavy it was. Like, the entire time, because typically in Dudebro games, at least the Dudebro games that I really enjoy, you're really having fun killing stuff. Like, I enjoy the chainsawing stuff in the face in Gears. Like, that's part of the enjoyment to me. But Spec Ops, there was no enjoyment in any of that killing that you got. But I think
How many
Spec Ops
Americans have you killed today?
Oh my god. It's the most passive-aggressive game I've ever played.
Remember, it's all your fault.
Oh, my favorite one was it Lugo? He would have had PTSD anyway, so really, he's the lucky one. So, but I think that game really got typecast just from its initial, because they really didn't market that game as well as they could have. I think it got typecast, and I think a lot of people wrote it off, because whenever I recommend Spec Ops, if people haven't played it already, they'll always be like, oh, isn't that like that Call of Duty third-person shooter? And I'm like, no.
Well, yeah. Do you remember when before that game came out and like people were getting previews of it, and it was like, oh wow, a shooter. This is exciting. Like I was like that too, because with a preview you're not getting any of the story. You're just getting
Right.
No.
I mean, graphically, it looked like a third-person Call of Duty set in a desert.
right. Yep.
Yeah, actually, because I first saw it at it was E3 2012. Like, I had an appointment there, and I was like, oh, because I was the shooter editor at Gaming Angels. So really, by like the third day, everything was kind of bleeding together in what I saw. Because all I had was shooter appointments, and I got to Spec Ops. I'm like, yay, another third-person military shooter! Hooray!
Yep.
Yes, I'll sit here and play your demo. But so I was playing, and I was like, okay, this one's actually kind of fun. Compared to the other ones I've played, and the guy was telling me about the story, and I was like, what? Really? Like, that's in here? And he said, yeah. I was like, okay, I'm in. Like, I want this.
That's you actually believed him. See, yeah, the same PR people were like telling me about the story. I was like, yeah, right, okay, whatever. This has a good story. Yeah, right, well, okay. It's a military shooter. I know the gist. All right.
Well, he was telling me about that. This guy doesn't know what's real, and if he's doing the right thing, and if he's killed everybody or not. I was like, well, I'm interested. You also got to remember, Max, I'm unbelievably naive. I believe anything. Because why would you lie to me? I'm nice. Don't lie to me.
I couldn't. It was just I had just the blinders. It was just blinders for me because it's the military shooter, and I was like, "There's no way this is going to have a good story."
They should have just called that Heart of Darkness the game. So
right.
No
right.
lie.
They should have called it, like Heart of Darkness Dubai or something like that. I mean, it was, but that was a game that kind of got written off, and that was a shame, because that game got really shortchanged because of that. And I've heard, you hear people talk about it dismissively. And, oh yeah, what did you think of the ending? Well, I didn't actually play it. Oh. That was one. Yeah. I think, on the other hand, there are games which are definitely Dudebro, and they get totally squashed down, and they're just, no, this is terrible. But they're enjoyable. I mean, there's a lot to be said, and as much as we hate to say it, the Dudebro genre, I was thinking about this, the Dudebro game genre has actually done a lot for gaming. Like, say what you will about chest-high walls, when that shit came out, that was revolutionary. Right?
And everyone's been emulating that since. And really, you can almost make an argument that the Xbox configuration that Gears of War created kind of has been the set for so many games, even because I can't play PlayStation shooters because it doesn't have that same configuration and it's not comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Also, Call of Duty kill streaks. I mean, in the multiplayer genre especially, the Dudebro games have pretty much paved the way.
And
right?
didn't Gears of War kind of invent the Horde mode in multiplayer?
Yeah. I mean, they basically took tower defense, right, and made it multiplayer.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that's huge. Like, the way that I always look at it is you always think about how often something's called an X-clone, right? So, like, Scott, for older gamers, you remember when everything was a Doom or a Quake clone, right? Like, oh, it's like Doom or Quake. Then it was, oh, it's like Call of Duty. Now it's kind of with Gears sometimes too. It's like Gears of War.
Yeah, and Horde. This is a Horde mode for Plants vs. Zombies.
And everyone knows what you're talking about if you say that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like if I tell you, oh, it's like Horde mode, okay, I know what Horde mode is.
Yeah, and it gave us Overrun. No, I'm just kidding. No one played Overrun.
Horde mode was awesome. So yeah, I mean, we always want to shortchange the Dudebro games, but they've actually done quite a bit for us as far as gaming goes. Now, granted, some of them don't. Yes, I'm specifically thinking of Army of Two.
Some don't. Most don't. Let's be honest. Most don't.
Yeah. Well, again, that's most games.
Most games don't.
Most games don't. No, they don't, and people are really loath to admit that sometimes.
Well, it's because we're going into a different age, where it's not cool to like the AAA games. You got to support the indie, and like I'm all for supporting everybody. A good game is a good game is a good game. Certain things are crap. Papers, Please is crap. I'm sorry. It's a DMV simulator. That is it really. If I wanted to make my family miserable because of my ineptitude, I'll play Oregon Trail.
You all have dysentery.
They can walk it off.
And a lot of people hate to admit this too, but when you go through Steam and you look through the indie section, and I support indies, I like a lot of indie titles, I really do. There's a lot of copycats out there. And even some of the games.
Look at the App Store. I mean, for Apple. I mean, come on.
It is the truth. Nothing is that bad yet. But knock on wood. No, there's a lot of indie games that I really like, and I'm like, hey, this is really artsy, it was really fun. But it was like this game, but.
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of games that can be described. All the games, every type of game falls into that pitfall, right? And there are some, I would argue that some of the non-Dudebro games have just as obnoxious as followers, right? Like, we jokingly mentioned Metal Gear. I actually don't have strong feelings about Metal Gear. I like to yank Kyle's chain about Metal Gear, but some of the Metal Gear fans are really obnoxious. Like, the ones who are coming out saying that the hour-and-a-half long demo is totally worth $20, you guys, because it's really fun.
30.
Well, that's on next gen. If you buy it on last gen, it's 20.
Right.
I was corrected of that last night.
Oh.
So, I mean,
Be fair, it's 4 hours. The speed run went 2.
No.
There's a speed run that's
10 minets.
There's a speed run that's like 20.
I heard it was 2 hours, the speed run.
No.
Nope.
Some guy beat it in 18 minutes.
Yep.
Speedrunners have no lives, anyway.
There was I think it was on IGN, maybe it was Lucy on IGN. She wrote and said that when she first played it through, she finished it in an hour and 10 minutes. And then when she went back and did all the things, like, went down all the side corridors and checked out everything, it took her closer to 3 hours.
Took me an hour 45.
So there you go.
Either way, that's a rental. You know?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
$30. That's my point.
But how is that any different than paying $20 for Gone Home that I finished in an hour and a half?
It's not.
Because it's different because Gone Home is a contained standalone title, and this is just DLC for a bigger picture that's coming later.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. But
Okay.
I'll actually stand with Keri on that because I'm not down for paying $20 for an hour and a half experience. I'm just not down for it.
No, I agree. $20 was overpriced for Gone Home. I agree with that. But it's a little different than charging $30 for this, I would say.
Because from everything I'm reading, this sounds like a demo.
It is. Yeah, absolutely.
It sounds like they decided to charge for the demo.
Mm-hmm. You get to spend $30 to see how awesome Kiefer Sutherland is going to be. That's the best part about it. That is.
Well, they have to make his paycheck somehow. Come on.
Awesome.
Seriously. They're like, guys, Kiefer was expensive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right, yeah. It's like Jack Bauer meets Solid Snake. It's amazing. It's perfect.
But I think,
Mr. President, we have 24 hours.
Yep.
Excuse me, I need to go smoke another cigarette and drink some more vodka to get my voice even more gravelly and deeper.
Seriously, I think Lost Boys was on, I don't know, maybe a month ago or something on TV, and I was up late watching it, and I was like, damn, dude, how much did you smoke and drink? He always had a rough voice, but it's like, the same dude.
He does commercials, too, and it's like a smooth, silky, calming kind of thing. He's a talented dude.
He's just mad he's not Batman. That's all it is.
It's like, I could have done a good Batman voice, guys, see? Yeah. There's only one Batman, Kevin Conroy.
That's correct.
Yeah.
No, so I think...
No, Will Arnett.
Yeah. I will accept Will Arnett, yes.
Yeah.
Darkness!
I didn't see it. Don't spoil.
You still haven't seen the Lego movie?
No, I missed it.
I haven't seen
Get
it either.
on that. Both of y'all.
Frozen's first and then Lego movie.
See, I didn't want to go pay money for it because everybody hyped it up so much. I knew I was going to go in and ultimately be disappointed.
Oh, I don't know.
Funny.
I heard it reached his expectations.
Unless you have no soul and no funny bone.
Mm.
I have both, but I also don't want to pay money for it.
Well, now see, that's a whole other thing. I totally get that one.
I know. I mean, there's so many times there's been movies where it's everybody's like, "Oh, this is the greatest movie ever. It's great. It's fantastic. It's the best thing you'll see all year." And I go see it and I go like, "Eh."
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna lose some nerd cred here. Mine for that was Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yes, exactly.
I love that movie.
Of course you do.
I knew you were gonna say that, Max.
Of course you do. I am Jack's complete lack of surprise.
But then there are also movies where people's like, "Oh, this is horrible. It's going to completely ruin everything." And Prometheus was exactly that.
Mm.
Oh, that was one. Well, unfortunately, I went to see that one because all of the people I knew were like, "Oh my god, it's so amazing!" And I went to see it, and the whole time I'm like, "When does it get amazing?" That was an awkward movie to watch.
That's not very good.
Anyways, so we're talking about Dude Bros, and again, we've kind of gotten back to the point, and I think it's really hard to talk about Dude Bro gaming without it having that negative stereotyping connotation. So why don't other game demographics have such the same, fighting games?
Well, they do. Fighting games are,
but we only seem to care about fighting games when something happens.
No, but I mean, fighting games have that machismo kind of whole thing going for it. Just totally down on women thing. You have everyone's down on social games, right?
Right.
Farmville and all those Zynga titles and Candy Crush, all that. That has a very negative connotations. We hate everything.
To me, free-to-play has bad connotations. That's just because I've had very bad.
Free-to-play has a bad context.
I've had very bad experiences with free-to-play. So
because people think it's pay to win, or it's either you waste a bunch of time or you waste a bunch of money on it.
But I don't.
That's kind of what it's become. So
I think Dude Bro games seem to be universally disliked. If I say Dude Bro gamer to 10 people, all of them will be like, "Ugh, Dude Bros." right? But if you say like fighting game fans, there'll be at least 2 or 3 people who'll be like, I actually like fighting games, and fighting game fans aren't all that bad. And there'll be somebody who comes sports games. That's a good example, right? Like if you mention Madden, there'll be someone who'll be like, actually, Madden's really very good. But when you throw out Dudebro, people generally universally be like, Dudebro. And I don't know. I guess I have no idea how that happened. I guess the myth of the Xbox kid.
I don't know. I kind of feel like there's that same connotation sometimes with JRPGs, and that's almost with depends which part of JRPGs you go to, because you'll get to the diehard people but they're very niche JRPG. You only like certain ones, not the mainstream, and you're an idiot if you like these. So I kind of see that.
Yeah, I guess we do get into that, don't we? So I think the biggest release right now where Dudebro's starting to get thrown around is Titanfall, which is, surprise, an Xbox or a Microsoft exclusive. It's PC as well, but I think it's kind of getting more associated with Xbox than it is with PC. And it's an online game. It's an online-only game. You could either argue that it just didn't give a shit about multiplayer or single player, or it didn't waste your time with a single player campaign. And it's, run around shooting with big mechs.
Yep.
Yep.
It's kind of getting
all the ingredients of a Dudebro game, including the pretentious, over-serious story.
I was shocked when I heard there was a story.
And I mentioned it in my review, and it was funny because Max mentioned it on Twitter while I was writing my review, that it's hard to pay attention to the story because you're so involved with the game.
Yeah,
right? You're playing a multiplayer game. You're sitting there shooting, and in the corner of the screen, there's like some story going on, but you're like, I totally can't even look at that top right corner of my screen because I gotta pay attention to what's going on in the middle of my screen.
Yep, it's weird. It's something I commend them for trying something new, but it's a weird way to inject a story into things. Like there's supposed to be this dramatic. It's like the second last story chapter. I think it's supposed to be dramatic because this music flares up and then this guy's about to die and he's like saying his goodbyes. I didn't even know his name.
I was like, yeah. I was thinking, like, who's that? And then in the end, I was like, well, who's this guy? Where did he come from? In the last mission, I was like, I didn't even know who he was. It wasn't until I watched my son play through the campaign that I understood what was going on because I was able to pay attention to the story at that point and not just the action on the screen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it has that same over-serious, pretentious story that's the epitome of of the Dudebro genre.
Well, I have to say that I'm not into online shooters that much. The husband has fallen into Titanfall big time, and I'm usually sitting behind him, either reading or writing or doing something else while he's playing that. I have no idea what's going on in that game. I'm like, it's obviously there's is it a revolutionary group? Like, I've made up a story for it in my head, which I'm sure is far more interesting than its actual story, because I have no idea. Yeah. And usually, if I'm watching him play a game, I'm usually watching it for the story, right? Like, oh, this is an interesting story. I had no idea here. None.
But going back, would you consider Dark Souls to be a Dudebro game?
No.
No. But they have that same sort of, I guess, exclusivity kind of thing. That, oh, you're not part of our country club thing with Dark Souls, where if you can't appreciate the difficulty, then you're just doing it wrong.
But every game...
You don't understand.
Every kind of game has its niche. Yeah. So...
I've decided that, and I say this as a Dark Souls fan, Dark Souls fans can be really obnoxious about it. Like, when you're like, oh, I don't think I like it. Oh, it's just because it's too hard for you.
It's above you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Now they call, the real hardcore Dark Souls fans call people who don't like Dark Souls casuals, where they C-A-S-U-L. Casual.
Ah, that's great.
Casuals. I actually kind of like that.
Spell that again?
Yeah.
C-A-S-U-L. They dropped the second A.
Oh.
Okay.
It should be casual. Like, they should work soul in there.
They should. Like, they should make it... but then I guess you're not good enough for soul.
You're not worthy. Right.
Maybe that's what... Yeah, I guess maybe that's why they do that.
Right.
I don't know. That's kind of...
It's bizarre.
You know what, Internet? You weird. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't no. Okay. Anyways, no, I don't. Dark Souls is definitely not Dudebro, because I do think one of the pitfalls of Dudebro is that it is kind of that hand-holding experience where you get. I mean, look at something like Bulletstorm where you rack up points for creative kills, right? Mm-hmm. Like, Dark Souls always seems like, you know, if you manage to kill something, the game's always like, not bad. Like, it doesn't reward you at all. Like, it seems kind of irritated with you. Like, like you're a fly on the game. It's like, oh, are you still here? So, no, it's not Dudebro, but it is that super serious storyline.
Yes.
And the voice acting's terrible.
Awful.
Heh, heh, heh. I know what I'm talking about.
I do. It's bad.
It's so bad. And the repeated dialogue. Oh my god. And I love Dark Souls. So it has some problems. Yeah, I'll give a slight shout out to Dan Tack here. He's kind of getting crucified because he wrote an article on Game Informer today talking about how Dark Souls isn't that difficult.
He actually published something that said that? Oh, Dan.
So he's getting a little crucified.
I saw that headline. I thought it was satire. Was he serious?
Right. That's
it was super serious. He was Al Gore serial. So, like...
super serial.
He's super serial right now. And he was like, I feel like people are telling me that I'm being too pretentious. It's like, oh,
sure, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I feel like it's hard to not drop that line and not sound pretentious.
Yeah, it's like saying, like, we've already talked about there are people who don't like Dark Souls, and some don't like it because it's too hard, and then you're just saying, oh, it's not that. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. I beat it.
You just suck.
That's what, yeah, you suck. It's not hard at all. Yeah, that's what it's saying.
Well, I said that it's not that it's... My argument for it was that it doesn't necessarily require you to be super skilled. It just requires you to be very patient and very willing to put up with, you know, certain things.
I have no patience whatsoever.
So I think before we kind of go into a little bit more Titanfall, I think Mr. Grill wanted to give us our buy or skip.
Right, so this is going to be a very special Dudebro edition of the buy or skip. We're just going to cover certain franchises and whether we buy into that Dudebro franchise or we skip that Dudebro franchise.
Cool. So
first up is the current granddaddy, the 800-pound gorilla of the Dudebro genre, and that would be Call of Duty, or as they say on Wreck-It Ralph, Call of Duty. So, Jen, buy or skip Call of Duty?
I can't not snicker at that the way you're saying it. Hero's duty. I personally skip. I value what Call of Duty has brought to the table, but I'm not an online shooter person anymore, so, you know, just do it as you do.
Keri, buy or skip Call of Duty?
I say skip because I don't like playing multiplayer games.
Maxwell.
I say skip now in 2014 because the series is really stale and it doesn't do anything new. Buy 4 years ago. Skip now.
Go back in time.
Go back in time and buy it.
Just go back in time.
Watch this podcast first, then go back in time.
That's right.
Okay.
You can ping Max Parker at GameGuyPGH on Twitter for his secret to time travel.
All right, next up, Gears of War. Keri, buy or skip?
Buy. Totally buy. And buy all the books and comics too. They're good.
She is what we call all in.
All in on the Gears of War. All right, Max, buy or skip Gears of War?
Buy 1 through 3. Skip Judgment. And
I agree.
Yeah, skip. And I, without having seen or heard any real evidence about the new one, other than that it will exist, the new one, I say skip that as well. I'm done with the series. Just enjoy 1 through 3.
Jen, buy or skip?
You okay?
I think she's getting emotional. Very verklempt.
Oh, good. Buy. I really, well, yeah, buy up 1 through 3. You can say what you want about the of the Gears of War series, but it's fun and all the love for Damon Baird because chicks dig the Baird.
Actually, I will say, Judgment, it's really good after you unlock the second part. Because then it goes back to Gears of War 3.
Once it turns into Gears of War 3, it's really good.
It's true.
Okay, next up, the current Dudebro game, Titanfall. Max. Buy or skip?
Buy. It's fantastic. Everything about it is great. Buy.
As long as you have an Xbox One or PC.
Yeah, or a 360 on April 8th.
As to say, it's been
We
delayed.
still haven't seen anything about that.
Nope.
Though, that version.
We will on April 8th.
Jen, buy or skip Titanfall?
I have to say buy because everyone in my office is playing it. My husband's playing it. Y'all are playing it. And it's from what, again, it's not my thing, but when I watch it, I'm like, this is pretty cool. So, buy it.
Keri, buy or skip Titanfall?
Everyone I know is playing it loves it, but I have to say skip because I'm a story gamer and I don't like multiplayer games.
All right, and this one, I already know Jen's answer. It holds a special place in her heart. Jen, Bulletstorm, obviously, buy.
Buy! Stop what you're doing and go buy it. You can pick it up for like $10.
Less, probably.
Less.
Yes, go pick it. Go buy and play it. And then you too can be sad that we're not going to get a sequel.
I still have hope. Don't ruin my dreams.
Not to shit over your dream, but we're not getting a sequel.
I add it to my prayers every night.
That's probably true.
Dear Lord, protect my mommy and daddy. Make sure I make it through the day, and please let me have more sushi preferences.
That was most
Is
excellent.
it either that or sun asshole? My other favorite line from that.
That was a good one.
Max, Bulletstorm.
Buy. I love that game, and it's super cheap now. So if you haven't played it, you have no excuse. Buy.
Okay, and another one that holds a special place in Jen's heart. Army of Two. Keri, buy or skip?
I'm going to say skip, because I was not a fan of the aggro gameplay.
Max.
Skip. 1 and 2. They're not good games.
Hennifer.
Fuck you. I hate you both. So if buy, I can say buy now because they're so cheap. They're so cheap. Buy, but go in with really low expectations. I love the aggro gameplay. As long as you understand that you're playing the most juvenile of Dudebro, the aggro gameplay, if you're playing with co-op, really fun. If you're just playing by yourself, that would suck. A lot. So, don't judge me.
So only play if you have friends. I'm
Can
out.
I add one to this list?
Go ahead and throw it in there, Max.
GTA 5.
What's that?
GTA.
Ooh, GTA
Grand Theft
definitely
Auto.
falls under.
Is it? Are we calling that a Dudebro game?
I think so.
I think that does kind of fall under there. It
Yeah.
I think because of its mass appeal.
Mhm.
Yeah. The
I think
storyline
it
is
does.
super serious, but it's mass appeal, and you're controlling 3 guys, and it's a shooter.
Okay. So,
And considering the first thing everybody does in a Grand Theft Auto game is all the stuff that Saints Row rewards you for. Yes, I'm talking about curb stomping old ladies.
so Keri, what about you? Buy or skip Grand Theft Auto 5? Or this Grand Theft Auto series, period?
I say skip because I don't give a rat's ass about Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, why?
It's never appealed to me. Now, I love Saints Row. I know I don't make any sense. But, no, the Grand Theft Auto stuff just never, ever appealed to me.
Max, obviously you're a buy.
I'm a buy. I'm a big buy. GTA 5 was my game of the year last year. Bye.
Sell out.
Bye.
He's a Dudebro gamer.
Sell out. What?
Remember, everyone, he's the only one.
Everybody else said.
He is a male, and he's under the age of 35.
You know, don't form your own opinion. Just go with the flow.
The flow was Last of Us. That was the flow last year.
Because it was a better game.
Actually, on most game sites, Grand Theft Auto won. It's including the Spike TV Awards. It won.
Oh,
Game of the year.
I don't put any.
And if you agree with Spike TV,
that's the epitome of Dudebro right there.
As it gets. No, I put that game is amazing. I put so much time just wandering around. It's so fun. I had so much fun with it. Great
Jen,
game.
bye, skip, GTA 5. Or GTA, period. Jen? She froze.
Oh, we got
froze.
Jen's
She's
definitely.
back.
Oh. Go ahead, Jen, unmute.
There we go.
Tell me, GTA 5, buy or skip?
well, I was going to say bye, but then Spike TV liked it. No, actually, I would say skip, and this is just because I haven't really liked a Grand Theft Auto game since Vice City, because I loved 3. 3 is probably
awesome.
my top 10 favorite games of all time. But then they've all just kind of been the same thing with slight tweaks since then, so skip.
Oh,
This
that's
next
so
one's
sad.
gotten a lot of crap, and not because it's a Dudebro game, but because it launched in such a busted state. That would be Battlefield. Max,
We all
buy or
have to be skips here. I mean, this is skip.
well, this is not just the Battlefield 4. This is the
Oh.
entire series.
In 2014, skip and play Titanfall.
Keri, Battlefield, buy or skip the entire series, not just the single game.
Okay, well, I haven't played Battlefield 4, but from Battlefield 3, skip because the story was awful. And, plays for the story anyway, so I'm out because I don't like multiplayer games.
Jennifer?
I'd have to go. Well, I mean, I guess if you like Call of Duty,
What are you doing?
bye.
You're
I'm not
like
doing-
shaking.
Yeah, your
Okay.
camera was like
Yeah,
bouncing.
you're.
All over the place.
Was Jim in the background jumping up and down or something?
No, I'm using my work. I may or may not be using my work computer, and it's a little wonky tonight, so it's not my fault. Battlefield, I guess if you like Call of Duty, buy, but personally skip. Because story.
And speaking of another Call of Duty-ish game, we have Medal of Honor.
Oh, jeez.
The Medal of Honor series, yes,
Skipping Battlefield. I mean,
started out decent way long ago, and then it was quietly killed by
In the long and olden times.
in yonder days, a
Back
long
when-
time ago.
Call of Duty was like an old war, a historic shooter kind of thing.
All right, Jen, what do you say, Medal of Honor?
Skip. Just skip.
Yeah.
Skip everything about it. Max,
Skip.
Keri.
So I'm now laughing at Jen's tagline. Well, skip it now, but if you have a time machine, go back about 10 years ago and play Medal of Honor on a PlayStation 2. Back when it was good.
The good old days. All right.
Back
Here's another
before
one.
the online.
Here's another wonky one because the entire series kind of goes all over the place in terms of quality, and that's Halo. Jennifer. Buy or skip?
Buy. I think Halo, even though I'm not a huge Halo fan, I feel like Halo has such an important place in gaming. Like, you should at least be familiar with it. Dude, Halo 4 was really fun, so buy.
I'm blinking because you just said Halo 4 was really fun, and that was not what you said when Halo 4 came out.
No, that's not what I said. I said it was fun, but it was not nearly as good as Spec Ops, for f***'s sake.
Oh, well, no.
But
No, I
Spec
mean,
Ops wasn't
it's
fun.
in a mindless... No, well... I mean, it's fun in a mindless way. Like, oh, I shot these 20 people. I gotta go over here and shoot 20 more people. And I'm gonna go shoot 20 more people. Like...
I think we already know Keri's answer. Halo series.
Bye. And I was a person who hated Halo. I wanted nothing to do with it. And then I was tasked with reviewing Halo, the anniversary And even though I had to go through the library, 10 years after its time, I was like, this is like the best game! And I got into the books and the comics, and well, yeah.
It went downhill from there.
Yeah. Once again, Halo is one of those I am all in.
The rest was history.
Mm-hmm.
Max, Halo.
Bye. I love the whole series. Except ODST, which is a little down. And then...
ODST was amazing!
Ugh, yawn. Oh.
It was so unique.
We'll have to agree.
You want a yawn? Reach was terrible.
Reach wasn't so great. Yeah, sure.
Whoa, Max and I agree on something.
Xbox, record that. Wrong platform.
It just turned off.
What?
You said Xbox, record that, and I said, it just turned off.
It did.
Yeah, don't say that too loud in here, because actually I was at a podcast and one of my casters said it, and my Xbox actually did turn on. Shit, it just turned on.
I have the power!
It sees you when you're sleeping, I swear to God.
Oh, we have our Kinect, like it's plugged in, but I think it's actually Deadpool, because that was the first case that I found laying around, hanging over it, so the camera's totally blocked. Because it's creepy.
Good morning, Keri. Would you like to play a game?
I have Halo ready for you, Keri. Would you like to play?
It lies. There's no Halo on the Xbox One.
Actually, for me, it would be Netflix. Like, do you want to watch some more Justified? The next episode's ready.
That'd be Amazon Prime. Come on, get it straight.
What were we watching on? Oh, it was S.H.I.E.L.D. we were watching on Netflix, I think. Or
no,
maybe it was
Amazon Prime.
Jennifer, there's a new
Sons is on
episode
Netflix.
of Game of Thrones ready for you.
That's HBO Go.
You all fail. You don't know what anything is on. Only I do, because I'm going to turn my Xbox One is to watch movies.
That's pretty much what we do with it until before Titanfall came out. We're like, yeah, really good cable box.
And finally, this may or may not be a Dudebro game, but it does fit the 18 to 35-year-old audience, and that is Madden series. Max?
Bye. It's actually a better football simulator than people give it credit for. Bye.
Keri?
Skip, because I don't like sports games, but I'd say bye because my husband loves it.
Jennifer?
I'd like to take this moment to point out that Max was mocking me for liking Dynasty Warriors, whose hallmark is, this time his outfit's blue. And he loves Madden, whose hallmark is, this time we have the new rosters. Anyways, Skip.
It's not true. That's not the case. There are new features and things added.
Say with Dynasty Warriors, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. I feel like one of these days we're going to be at like E3 or PAX or somewhere, and Max and I are just going to go fisticuffs over Madden
the
versus
good thing is, just like in
Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors, you'd have a bunch of people just standing around watching.
It's true, and I could swing my giant sword that was taller than Scott. Like, whoosh.
My son and I were actually having a discussion the other day. He's like, I've only really played a couple of mech games, and I was like, I've played Armored Core, and I'm like, yeah, that's a mech game. And I played Dynasty Warriors Gundam. I'm like, no, that's not a mech game.
That's not a mech game.
That is a Dynasty Warriors game with a Gundam skin.
Oh, Scott Jr. What are you doing to your son? Teach him mech.
He played it at a friend's house. I take no responsibility for that.
See, I like the core Dynasty Warriors franchise. I don't like any, like, all the spin-offs and stuff. That's my defense. I totally just use that as a defense.
And finally, just so everyone is aware, there is a indie game celebrating the Dudebro, and it is called Broforce, and it comes to us from, freelives.net. It was named the 2013 Indie Showcase winner for Minecon.
Actually, looking at Broforce reminds me. So, I think last year, Far Cry Blood Dragon. That one I wouldn't typically call Far Cry a Dudebro game.
Far Cry Blood Dragon is a Dudebro game.
And that's an ironic
Sure.
Dude Bro game.
Yeah.
That is an ironic.
Self-aware, right? Sure.
And that was quite excellent for basically anyone who survived the 80s and 90s. It was excellent.
Yes.
Unlike kids who think that RoboCop 3 and Terminator 3 were good movies.
You have to appreciate the power of neon to appreciate.
Well, who doesn't appreciate the power of neon?
I'm gonna pre-order Bro Force. I want to win the war on terror. Sign me up. Oh.
I actually think I need to play this game. Like, I'm looking at previews, I'm like, oh, I need this.
I like how they spell more, M-O-A-R.
More! So, do we have any final thoughts on Dude Bro Gaming we would like to
What
get
about
out?
Contra? Classic Dude Bro game, right?
Ooh, but that was like Dude Bro before there was Dude Bro. Could we call that Proto Dude Bro?
That was Dude Bro. That you'd have to say like Quake and.
Oh, Quake was totally Dude Bro. Like, in
Doom
Wolfenstein.
was Dude Bro.
Doom was super Dude Bro, and I loved the shit out of Doom.
Doom was awesome.
Doom 2 for life. And I'm going to play the shit out of Wolfenstein. This next Wolfenstein, I don't care. It's totally my YOLO moment in gaming. But do we have any final thoughts you wanted to get out on the Dude Bro genre? In defense of?
Dude Bro. Dude.
I've got nothing.
Bro.
Dude.
Dude.
They're fun games. Don't take it so seriously. Have fun.
Just play the games for what they are. Well, no matter what the genre they are.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Mr.
hate.
Parker, would you
Don't
like
hate.
to tell
Don't
us?
discriminate.
Don't hate. Yeah, stop hating,
Yeah.
everybody. Takes too much effort to hate. Mr. Parker, would you like to tell us where we can find you and your content?
Yes, you can find my content in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette or on Twitter at GameGuyPGH. Infamous review runs tomorrow, and I recorded a solo one-shot forecast, which is funny, one-shot forecast, for a solo one-shot forecast for Infamous. So that should be live tomorrow. So the embargo lifts tomorrow at 10, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Mr. Grill, would you like to tell us where we can find you and your content?
You can find me not at the country club, but at You can find me at Scott Grill on Twitter. You can find my writings on Examiner.com. You can find me on Facebook at ATL Games Examiner. Sometimes I post
When he feels like it.
when I'm not slammed at work like I was today. I was so pissed off today. There was so much good news, and I couldn't write. I was just like meetings and writing crap for still.
Did you go kick in your boss's door and say, this is bullshit, and then walk out?
No time.
You were like, no, I don't want to lose my job.
Yeah, so I totally got to do the work I had to do. So writing comes second, sometimes third and fourth.
Ms. Honey?
You can find me on Twitter at Crunchy Chocobo. You can find most of my writing at actiontrip.com and now on thedailycrate.com.
Excellent.
Oh, and as well as strategyguidereviews.com. How can I forget my own site? Come on.
Didn't happen. You can find me at Jen Bozier. You can find my writings on videogamewriters.com as well as thedailycrate.com. You can follow us at Furious Fourcast on Twitter. If you're listening to this podcast, chances are you found us either on FuriousFourcast.com, on YouTube, on iTunes, on Android Store, on the Windows Phone Store, because we have to support Scott Grill. And I don't know, maybe somebody just linked it to you. I don't know. If you found us on one place, go and find us on the other. We are always entertaining and gamey and nerdy. And we talk about buying and skipping stuff. We're awesome. Listen to us.
I agree.
That was my most
Yeah.
dude bro way of talking about how awesome we
And
are.
if you're watching us on YouTube, totally like dude bro in the most dude bro way possible, go hit that subscribe button.
Totally. Be like, dude, subscribe the shit out of this podcast. So, before we break this evening, can we get, and hopefully not make it a steel battalion, can I get a fist bump?
Booyah!
This has been Furious Forecast, and we're totally your dude bros.
Dude.
Dude.